This is a certified hood classic.
Hey now.
Another one.
No?
Maybe another one.
Another one.
There we go.
Yeah, Hugh, that burp caught me off guard too. That was Mikey, not me. I would have said, "God bless." You know,
I don't know what he's talking about. Though it's not me.
Yeah,
it was a sound effect.
Welcome to court and happy Friday. Hope your days are going better than these two guys' days going.
That's all right, Creed. The countdown is on. As you can see here on the 5 days to Freedom Express, we're counting down the minutes that YouTube releases us from an unjustified prison.
Yeah, but and keep in mind, I think that Mikey's spot on this one. That again, it will be. We're so sorry. Yeah, we screwed up again. We're gonna go ahead and, but that'll be on the day that it's gonna be
already too late.
Yeah. So.
But that's okay. That's the way the old cookie crumbles, the old ball bounces, and the way you spill the milk.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work. Whose birthday is it? Oh, my God. Well, happy freaking birthday.
I've never met somebody that was over 700 years old. I like that they left out the middle number. Keep us guessing about exactly how old they are.
I like that.
It's okay. Creed, as it is Friday, and well, a tradition around here, we're gonna talk about love. Namely, people you go and have babies with. Maybe it's we should put a little more thought into that, because these two young people, well, they're just not getting along, and there's a child involved, and everybody, and I mean everybody, has a pew pew. So a deadly mixture of alcohol, the blunts, and pew pew. So, it's going to be a rough one. So buckle in and hold on tight. Hey, what's up, Miss Freeman?
Yeah, Mrs. Freeman, thank you. A couple of morons cracking you up. I like that. That's good. And Crystal, welcome. Thank you. Glad you enjoy.
There's a lot of new people. I am blown away and honored to have everyone here.
ABR?
There's a well-known face, the world's most dangerous chat. That's right. If you're new here, you're a part of that. That's you.
Thanks, Gary.
World's most dangerous chat. Look at that melon, man. He is jamming. Very reminiscent of, you remember that movie, Better Off Dead, where the hamburger's playing Everybody Wants Some by Van Halen? Very reminiscent.
Wow, that's the whole point of having them other channels.
Yep.
Let's do your just in time. I'm clicking play now.
Whether or not the ex parte protective order will continue for the next 12 months. While you are both unmuted, I'm going to ask that you raise your right hand. I'm going to get you sworn in. Do you swear or affirm all testimony is true and correct under penalty of perjury? First, Ms. North.
Yes.
And then next, Mr. Berkeley.
Ditto.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And you can both go ahead and mute your cameras at this time. I'm going to give a little bit of instructions before we get started. As I stated, this hearing today is to determine whether or not the ex parte temporary protective order becomes a 12-month protective order. This was filed under the Family Violence Act, so the court will be listening from the petitioner to hear whether or not there has been evidence submitted that there was an act of family violence or battery, and that there is or stalking, and that there is a reasonable likelihood of those acts continuing into the future should the protective order not be issued today. So those are the two elements of this case I will be looking to hear when the petitioner testifies. Once the petitioner has testified, I will then hear from the respondent, and both sides will therefore get a thorough chance to be heard.
Gosh, a baby out of nowhere.
If you could go ahead and mute your camera for me. Thank you. After that, I will hear any summation that you wish to give, any sort of closing argument you wish to give as to what you're asking the court for on both sides, and then I will issue my order. If you have witnesses that you intend to call, please let me know that at this time. Does either party have witnesses they intend to call?
He's got to look.
All right.
He looks
then
scary.
Ms. North, you'll go ahead and unmute yourself and state your full name.
Scared you.
My name is Asia North.
All right. And how do you know Timothy Brickley?
He's my baby's father.
All right. And how long have you known him?
For about 4 years.
Okay. And how many children do you have with him?
Just one.
Court started. Let's walk
All
around.
right.
Yeah.
And has he legitimated that child?
No.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Come on, Judge. It's
Yeah,
like
come on, we're in
crazy.
Georgia. There's no legitimization.
Is she in a closet?
She might be. A child. Shelly, thank you. 2 bones.
Taking the baby to the playroom, better known as the closet.
Might as well. It's quiet in there.
He's on the move.
All right. What led to you requesting this temporary protective order?
What led me up to doing this protective order today is me and Mr. Brickley, we had ended up calling our relationship quits about a few weeks ago. We called our relationship quits a few weeks before the TPO was filed. So he was going to see his girlfriends. I had my guy friend. He was actually coming over to see me on the event in question that caused me to file this TPO. My guy friend. Okay, so me and my daughter.
I just heard the first of, I'm sure, many little chirps coming from not the child, but from the smoke detector that does not have the batteries changed. Not a thing it.
Well, maybe it's just a starter pistol. So look, these two are living together while she's seeing her man friends and he's seeing his girlfriends. I mean, are we just throwing gas on her? Oh,
Listen, thank you for 2 bones.
and thank you for the kisses. I love a good Hershey's kiss.
Jeff, lurking is free, but if you want to send that's all right with me. That is all right with me. No spoilers in the chat. I can't believe that I have to keep telling you guys that. Please, no spoilers in the chat. Thank you.
Oh, come on.
No spoilers in the chat. Thank you.
We was at home. He was sleeping in the living room. My guy friend actually came to pull up to bring me some alcohol to drink because I couldn't leave. I had my daughter.
Oh.
So I.
Thank God she's being responsible.
And
Your Honor, I was babysitting.
I don't think that makes you look good when you. I understand, like that's good that you didn't go out, like leave the child at home and go get your uncle. How does it?
She's blaming it on the.
But yeah, I don't really think that's cool to admit that in court.
I was getting toe up while the baby was here.
Leather and lashes, thank you. Is that what she means by guy friend? Guy friend, just guy friend is that just a friend, or are we assuming more?
Guy friend. To me, when somebody says guy friend, it sounds like just someone they're having the sex with. At least when she said he had girlfriend or girlfriends, seems like there's a little bit of an emotional attachment. A little bit, just small.
What? You are seriously, KH? I would never in a million years. I give you credit. I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
I always wanted to do that, but I am just far too scared.
I couldn't ever. I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
There's no way. Val, welcome.
Left my daughter in the bed and I went outside. Mr. Brickley was in the living room and he was asleep as well. I went outside for 10 minutes and then we look up and we see Mr. Brickley coming down the stairs with the dog. We have a little puppy. And so my friend, he was like,
little what?
What's going on? Like, I'm like, probably just walking the dog. Instead of him walking the dog, he walks down at least about 20 feet to the car. We wasn't even parked in front of my apartment. We was parked down at least like 7 parking spaces away from my apartment. He walks down to the car, my friend's car, walks around to the passenger side door, proceeds to open his car door and says to me, what I tell you about leaving your child in the house by herself. I say, she's not in the house by herself. You was in the house. He say, what I tell you about leaving my child. What I tell you about leaving your child in the house by herself. I said, she's not by herself. You're in the living room. Within us going back and forth, my guy friends intervene and he says, I don't have nothing to do with that, but why are you opening my car door? What you opening my car door for? Any problems y'all have, you need to wait till she come up to the house. You don't need to be touching my car. So with him saying that, that caused Mr. Brickley to pull out his gun and point it at me and my guy friend while we're sitting in his car. So he pulls out his gun and he say, "Then I tell you next time this nigga comes to my house, I'ma kill him." And he kept saying that. He kept saying that. Keep in mind, my 1-year-old daughter is in the house by herself, howling and screaming because he came outside to pull a gun on someone. So once he did
that,
that
okay,
that's
a lot to
lovely.
unpack. A lot to unpack there. Some very bad language. You should never use that kind of language towards another individual, even though you said you was going to pew him if you ever came back over to the house again. Her thing of like, look here, you should be inside too. You should be out in the car, boozing it up, counting on Mr. Reliable here to be in there taking care of the kid. I mean, if he's that bad of a person, do we really want him around the child?
So they're still living together, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And she's got the guy friends coming over.
Oh, yeah.
Car
dates, I believe they call those, Creed.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that's what it is. So waving the pew around and all that is that's lovely with the kids around. Let's not forget that the kids are all running around too, which is absolutely.
Somebody put that baby in bed.
That I tried to take out my phone and call the police. He snatches my phone out my hand and put it in his pocket. My friend proceeds to get out the car and get on his phone, and I believe he was calling his mom or one of his guy friends or something.
Mom, he said he was gonna pew me.
Hold on, I got to call my mom. I'm late for Bible study. Mom, yes, I'll be there directly. This young man has done some sort of threatening, and I fear for my life. And can you please put the meatloaf in the oven?
Hector, you're absolutely right.
Jesus.
We've seen cases won because of that.
The phones, no matter what she says from this point forward, I feel like
I think you're right. Yeah.
She has just sealed his fate by grabbing the phone.
If you're ever wondering, Credence and Mikey's guide to winning a TPO.
I mean,
PTO, whatever.
He better fight that I didn't grab that phone. Your Honor, I pulled the pew. I did all those things, but grabbing that phone.
Yeah, no matter.
Wasn't me.
That's it. That's all you got to do. So there you go. Make sure to give us credit if that ever works, okay? FYI.
So they start exchanging words, Mr. Brickley and my guy friend. I try to walk away. I'm trying to tell my guy friend he just needs to leave. I'm about to go in the house, and I'm trying to proceed to walk away to go in the house. As I'm trying to go in the house, Mr. Brickley is standing at our foyer area that leads to our porch steps. He's just standing right there, and he's making all kind of ill threats. Nigga, I kill you on Big Whoop. That's gang affiliate. I do
on
this,
what?
I do that. Nigga, you ain't this. Nigga, you ain't that.
On Big Woot or Big Root?
I'm not sure. Yeah, was that some gang stuff she just said? I'm so. This is
Big Woot, Big Hoot, Big Root. I don't know what that even means. Is that a well-known hot Atlanta gang?
I'm not sure. Maybe Judge Guy will ask.
My friend is in his car attempting to pull off, but he's still exchanging words with Mr. Brickley.
Her friend can't pull out.
In his car, like at least 50, 60 paces away in his car. I end up going upstairs because, again, my baby is in the house screaming and crying. At this time, I did not know that his older brother was in the house at this time. So when I walk in,
how many people live there?
His brother is standing in the kitchen fixing himself something to eat. So I just get my baby. And
I'd like to know what he was fixing to eat. Yeah, almost close to a trap house, I believe is what they call that.
I don't know. It's got beautiful siding.
Does have nice siding. It's a good point.
To go ahead and get our stuff because I was about to try to leave because at that time I didn't feel safe. So I still hear them two outside arguing. I'm inside. Next thing I know, I hear his brother charging out the door. He got his gun as well. So now it's Timothy and his brother. They're outside basically provoking this man that's in his car.
Oh,
he never got out his car and came and provoked them. He never drawed a gun on Mr. Brickley at no time. He never came on our property, our porch, and provoked anybody in our household. Mr. Brickley came and provoked him. So I'm in the house. All I hear is gunshots let off. I don't know who shot at who. I don't know what shots was let off. My friends say that his brother shot at him and he shot back. Mr. Brickley says that he shot and then they shot back. I don't know what happened. I was inside. So that's what led me up to getting this TPO today. Because like I say, I have my 1-year-old daughter. We just moved into that apartment in April. And for him to unconsciously do that with my daughter being inside the home, if I had not known this gentleman, like how I know him, anything could have happened with Mr. Brickley pulling his weapon out. This man could have felt threatened and shot me and Mr. Brickley. This man could have felt threatened still and came back and shot up the house with my daughter inside the house. Plenty things could have happened. And I feel like he's not taking in accountability of the safety and the living situation
One
of
moment,
my daughter.
Your Honor.
I know. I saw that fence too, and it was pretty nice.
Not just that, but she said this man was her friend. Now she is acting like he's a complete stranger, and that he is unpredictable. That he could have pulled out a pew pew and shot her and him. That he could come back by later and pew pew up the hacienda. Is he your friend or not? Now you're acting like he's a complete stranger, an absolute stranger.
Yeah, a lot of people in and out of the house. We've figured. I think they're both at the same house since he's allegedly living.
I'm
there.
gonna say
Makes
it was
sense.
a sandwich, Creed, with 2 butts of the bread.
Oh, yeah. Those sandwiches are the worst.
Putting out for that, anything could have happened. He also put me in jeopardy because he also put the gun literally in my face, across my face. So if he would have shot the gun and the backfire, anything would have happened, I could have got shot as well with me being in the car. That was the main reason of me filing this TPO. There were other incidents prior, but this was the main exact reason why I did it.
Okay, so let me ask you. You stated you moved into this apartment in April. Is the apartment in your name, his name, your both names?
It's both our names. His name is just first, but it's both our names on there. It's his name, my name, and my daughter.
Okay. And at the time that this incident occurred, you were separated but still living in the same house together.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you heard from Mr. Brickley since he was served with this protective order?
I have not heard from him, but I have an OnlyFans account. He did subscribe to my OnlyFans account on June 22nd.
It is.
Also, I had mistakenly logged into his account, and I logged right back out because I was trying to log into mine. And he texted my grandmother and told her to tell her to stay off of my accounts. He also was logged into my grandmother's Netflix accounts, and I had to change the passwords to get him off of there because my grandma pays.
Great. Now Netflix is going to be after him.
Okay.
Yep.
You referenced some incidents that had happened before this. Has he ever been physically violent or threatened you with a firearm before?
Physically violent, yes. Firearm, no.
When was he last physically violent with you?
Last physically violent that was reported was January of 2022. That was last reported. Actually physical. We actually got into a physical altercation about 3 to 4 days prior to this incident. I would like to say on the 30th or the 31st of May.
And what happened in that incident?
I had been texting him. He didn't come into my house till 6 o'clock in the morning. And I had been asking him where he was. And he didn't want to respond. That resulted into us having physical words going back and forth.
Not them physical words.
I was angry, so I acted like I was about to pack up his stuff. I did put his stuff and remove it out of my bedroom and set it in the hallway. And then he returned in retaliation, went in there and grabbed all my clothes out the drawer and threw them out on the porch. And then also in return, my key is on like a wallet key ring. He actually snatched my key off the wallet key ring and took my key. And I had to go to the rent office and get a new key to.
So he's causing all sorts of havoc. There it is. That's beautiful. That is.
She can use that on her OnlyFans if she wants.
She might want to.
What do you think she's doing on there? Like arts and crafts, or
I can't. Yeah, I can't get over this physical words thing.
Physical words are some of the worst words you can have, Creed. Most people just hear the words, not these ones. These ones attack you from all sides, physically harm you. I don't think it's an issue that he subscribed to her OnlyFans. He had to pay for it. I mean,
that's a good point.
And my God, he's paying for stuff he's already seen.
We are $2 closer to having her OnlyFans, our own subscription. That's how that works.
We'll start feats only. The feats of YouTube.
Nasty videos. So she packed up a bunch of his stuff, threw it outside or whatever, and then he said, "Oh hell no!" And he goes and does the same thing.
He one upped her, yeah. One upsmanship. I understand.
You can own those, by the way, if you're on the Discord, all the way down on the bottom.
Also, commission pieces, if you like, for only the humble sum of, I don't know, whatever you can afford.
Cash App, friends and family, PayPal.
Yes,
be able to enter and have access to my home.
Okay. And prior to that incident, what was the most recent physical altercation between the two of you?
Prior to the one a couple of days before the
Yes.
shooting.
Yes. Would that be the January 2022?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that you want to tell me at this time?
Also within that incident that happened a couple of days before the shooting, like I say, we did exchange physical altercation. I tried to upload the pictures of my bruises and things, but I had problems converting my things over to PDF. So as we was fighting an altercation, I did pick up a knife. And when I picked up the knife, he was trying to grab the knife out my hand. Like, I guess he was thinking I was going to stab him, but I had it for my own protection. And he was trying to grab it out my hand, and he ended up cutting his own hand. And he was basically trying to tell the police and stuff that I picked up the knife and cut him and tried to stab at him. Also,
you kind of did.
Let me interrupt you for one moment.
Yes,
The police were called on the incident that happened 3 to 4 days before this last one.
Yeah, I called them to let them know that he took my key. I didn't let them know nothing about the fighting incident.
Okay.
I didn't tell anything about that fighting incident until the night I called the police on the night of the shooting.
Okay.
Wow.
All
A
right.
lot going
Anything
on.
further?
So she's got a knife, and he's, I'm guessing, trying to get it away from her, and that's how he supposedly, allegedly, cut himself.
Yeah, because for some reason he thought she was going to stab him. I mean, what is this guy thinking? She's
It was
standing
only
there
for
with
her own protection, Mikey. It was also her
Yes.
own protection. She wasn't-
people tend to, hurt others during that point in time, but it's
That's the great question, because
I'm pretty sure that it seems that way. I could be wrong, but no one was arrested for all the pew-pewing and things like that went on. It seemed
That's
like a lot of gunplay.
Yeah, a lot of people said in the comments, well, okay, well, where's the police report for the shots that were allegedly fired? I mean, you would think that they were called out for that, and I think she just said that they were there for the shooting, as she calls it.
Yeah, Mr. Brick, by the way, purchased his chain as part of the Creed collection. If you're
Yes.
looking to pick up some beautiful
Thank you.
man jewelry, make sure you go out and pick it up,
It's
just like Mr. Brick,
it's-
from the Creed collection right there on the YouTubes.
I'm glad, and thank you, Mr. Brick. May give you a lot of crap during this, but appreciate your.
He's got fine taste in men's jewelry.
Yes, Sally G. Hello.
Sally.
Other than that, his older brother, like I stated previously, he's still staying there. I just recently had an issue where the light bill was due on June 14th. His brother had agreed to pay us $250 a month to help with the bills inside the household. From what his brother had told me, I also had recording of that. Again, I couldn't switch it over to PDF, but his brother's exact words were, I gave Tim the money, so I don't know what you want me to do about the light bill not being paid. So
Okay,
he
so-
gave
What's that got to do with it?
So who else living in your apartment right now?
his brother, myself, and my daughter. And I'm
Okay.
actually on the verge of trying to remove the brother.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You can go ahead and put yourself on mute now. Mr. Brickley.
His
you
brother's
were
a
pre-
deadbeat, damn it.
So she didn't. I think that she threw out. I'm trying to say this properly. I think she threw out a lot of things that she might not have had to have really said for this one. But we'll let him see where he comes in here with this. But I don't know.
previously sworn. You can go ahead and unmute, sir, and you're welcome to respond to the testimony that we have heard from Ms. North.
Okay, so the incident in which the police was called about the guns,
Mhm.
I never pulled my gun out until he presented his weapon, for one.
Mhm.
Two, my daughter was already up as soon as she walked out the door. That's what woke me up to initiate me to go outside. I was also walking the dog, but my daughter was also up. That's why I even came to the car to ask her why she was out here, because I wasn't aware that she knew if my daughter was sleeping or not. As far as the shooting, I never fired my weapon. He was shooting as me and my brother were literally walking into the house while he was shooting. I guess he was in front of the neighborhood or whatever. We did have an exchange of words. And also, it was literally
Georgia.
in front of the apartment.
Thank you, Mrs. Hot. $2 for two morons. Appreciate you.
It's a testament what morons can do these days. Thank God.
That's right. Isn't that amazing?
All right. And did you go to the passenger side of the vehicle where Miss North was and open that door to speak to her?
Yes, to speak to her.
Okay. And
No whatsoever.
No, the question is, were
sorry?
they violent
There was
physical
no
words?
aggression whatsoever. I was literally
Okay.
trying to understand why you outside and my daughter's in the room by herself. You didn't even tell me that you was going out there. You just walked
We
outside
can't
while I was
talk to each
asleep.
other.
Okay.
My daughter,
And just one second. And at some point, whether it be before or after the guy friend did you point your weapon across where she was sitting?
I never pointed my gun at him. I literally grabbed my gun when he grabbed his gun. He grabbed his gun as he was getting out the car. I assumed he was finna walk around the car, basically trying to shoot me or whatever. So I was really preparing myself for whatever he had going
For
on.
battle.
I was literally talking to her and he had his little input or whatever.
Okay.
That what we're calling it?
And do you recall a couple of days before that, the altercation that she refers to?
Yes, I had been out. I had got off work. I had went to a friend's house. I didn't come home till like 5, 6 in the morning. We not together, as she earlier explained to you. We're not together, so why would you be blowing my home? Actually, my brother texted my phone saying she's packing up your clothes. What's going on? She's on the phone, cussing and all this other stuff. So when I do get home, all my stuff is packed by the door. So yes, I did grab her stuff and I also packed her stuff. And I also grabbed the key that I bought, which initiated her to grab a knife and attack me with the knife.
When you say it was the key that you bought, what do you mean by that?
I bought the key that she has. I bought the key for her and my brother.
Were you not given
What?
keys when you rented the location?
They gave us one key.
Oh, one key. So you made copies.
I took the key and gave them.
Okay. Okay, and one other question. On the date of the firearm exchange or firearm, just, whatever was going on with the gun, on that date, did you take her phone from her?
No, I didn't take her phone.
I'm sorry?
No, I didn't take her phone.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that's
Anything
important.
further that you want to tell me as it relates to this request for a 12-month protective order?
As far as me being a threat, I'm no type of threat to her or my child. Like, I'm very nonchalant. When she tries to argue,
Nonchalant.
I literally sit there and don't say anything, or I try to walk away. That's what makes her get aggressive with me.
Nonchalant.
And that's what happened basically, January?
What are you doing using your big school words? Just use normal people words and I'll understand what you're talking about.
So basically, we got into an argument. Well, she was arguing at me and I wasn't initiating into the argument. So that made her get aggressive with me. It got kind of physical and I wound up pushing her off of me and she wound up hitting her head. And that's why they sent me to jail, because the ambulance came and they said she had a concussion. So they had to take me to jail because of that.
That's a big one.
She had a
Okay.
concussion.
And that was January of 2022.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
I-
Anything further?
I have never initiated any type of confrontation with her. I'm not a threat to her or my child. In actuality, she's more of a threat to herself and my child than I am. As long as as long as I've known her,
Mm-hmm.
she's 24 years old and she's tried to take her own life at least 5 to 6 times. 3 of those times being with me. 2 of those occasions happened before I even knew her.
Oof. Yeah, that's not.
All right, and
No,
the petitioner indicated that there has been no formal legitimation of the child. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, I don't know what it is.
You don't
Have
know
you
what that
gone through the
means,
DNA
but you're
testing
using
with the child?
nonchalant.
Okay. All right. Anything further, sir?
Oh, we're not even going to explain it to him?
Okay.
We're just going to
And lastly,
we're just going to breeze by that one. He doesn't even know what.
If he doesn't know what the word is, Chris, I'm pretty sure he's never been there. Just because he's sporting the Creed collection today does not mean the man knows what legitimation is. And if he doesn't, then it's pretty sure the kid hasn't been legitimated.
Something tells me he's going to learn about it real quick here in just a second, and why you don't snatch somebody's phone out of their hands. And he's going to find out real quick that the kid basically isn't even his in the eyes of the court.
back to you, Miss North. You carry the burden. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. Mr. Brickley, if you'll go ahead and remute, thank you. Is there anything further that you wish to add?
Why did she not feel like she maybe should explain that? It's very important and very pertinent to this case for him to know that. No,
yeah, for him to be able to have any chance of seeing the child at all, he's got to be legitimated. But maybe she's just like, look, man, look, it's for me to know and you to find out.
Just breeze right by that. That's
she's like, I've already really made my decision.
I think the decision was made when you said back when we heard about the phone. Those of you who are new around here too, the Georgia thing with the legitimized child, legitimization, it's very, very important. They basically, if I'm not mistaken, they basically viewed the child as even his in the eyes of the court until it's legitimized.
He has zero rights
to
see the child. They can't force him to pay any child support. None of those things will be on the table unless he's legitimized.
So that's why I'm kind of shocked that he says that he doesn't know what that is, and that she just breezed over it and just continued on. It is. I mean, it's pretty important.
Did you notice she didn't even react when he said that she had tried to, herself 5 to 6 times?
Again, blew right by that one like it was nothing. Night listener, welcome.
Like it wasn't even a big deal.
Michael, I gotta say, I almost feel that. I don't know why you wouldn't take the moment to, or she sees BS and knows that he knows what that is.
There's no way he knows what that is. No way in hell. It just no.
That's what we do.
In rebuttal, Miss North.
I would like to object to the things that he was saying as far as the shooting. Those statements that he made were a lie. He indeed did have his gun out. So how did I know this? So when I went back in the house to pack up my baby's things, the case that the holster that he has his gun in, it was actually still sitting on the bed where my daughter was laying. So that's how I know, yes, my baby did probably wake up crying. He went back there to check on her, took her off the bed, took his gun out the holster, and used the dog as a cover-up as if he was walking the dog. Again, like I say, I don't know who shot
the dog is an
who.
accomplice.
I wasn't present. I was inside the house. So I don't know how that transpired outside. He did indeed snatch my phone when I tried to call the police. The reason I can say this, because I start fussing and yelling, I want my phone, because I didn't pay for this phone. My grandmother bought this phone. So he took my phone, and as they was chasing him, there's an open field on the side of my building. My phone was laying in the wet grass on the side of the building from when they was chasing him through the apartment complex.
What?
So yes,
when was
he did
that?
take my phone, and when I went back inside, once they came back in, and me and him was exchanging words, I say, Timothy, where's
how were they chasing? She said the guy never got out of the car. He never got on their porch, never was on their property or anything like that.
Talking about that one incident, right?
Yeah.
That's all stems. She never said
the phone was thrown in the grass from when they were chasing him around.
I mean, he was out walking the dog.
Well, I mean, dog had to go. Happy Friday, Katie.
Hi, Katie.
where's my phone? I don't know. I don't have your phone. Timothy, you took my phone. Where's my phone? I don't know. It's probably outside somewhere. You need to go look for my phone, Timothy. Nope, that's your phone. You need to go look for it. Timothy, I didn't pay for that phone. That's how those words went about. So yes, he did.
Why is she still allowed to testify after all of this, by the way? Isn't she still kind of going? That's not usually allowed, no? Where we ask questions.
It more seemed like she was ready to go ahead and wrap it up, you know what I'm saying? And now she's gone into more testimony.
Yeah,
she did say, I want to object to the pew-pewing part about the pew-pewing, not whatnot, but then she just went into a whole tangent about back to the phone all over the place. Judge Guy just letting her go.
Yeah,
her wind it up.
He'd take my phone. We was in the car. My friend never pulled out the gun. My friend, just to be honest, my friend was actually rolling a blunt when he walked up to the car. He was rolling a blunt. I was actually bending down to pick up the bottle to open it and drink out of it. When Mr. Brickley walked around to the
Remember, I'm watching my kid, by the way.
Yeah, kid's inside, right?
Yeah.
Kid's inside.
He was rolling the blunt. She was reaching for the baba down on the floor. She's about to she's going,
get
she's a classy broad. She's going to hit it right from the bottle.
Absolutely.
Gurk.
Yeah. That she had just ordered, by the way, because she couldn't go.
It was delivery. It was he door dashed it to her, obviously. Again, this is her guy friend that she doesn't know well enough to know if he would come back and pew up her house. So,
and again, the kid was left allegedly inside by itself while this was all going on, with the pew-pewing and the drank and the smoke and the snatching of the phone. And apparently now a foot chase also happened.
And here's the other part. She's talking about how
Hey, Joe.
There's my man, Joe. She's talking about the whole situation of not knowing what was going on, and that the baby was awake when she went in there. She knows he had gone in there because where he had pulled out his pistola, the pistola holster, some would call it, was there on the bed. So that means the pistol was in the room with the baby.
Good point. Inspector Mikey.
Passenger side of the car. His gun was still on his hip when he got out the car to make a phone call. His gun was still on his hip. He then took his gun off his hip when he got out the car. That's when he took his gun out. Mr. Brickley had already pulled out the gun, snatched my phone out my hand before my friend even got out the car and made a phone call.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Having heard from all the parties, I am ready at this time to hear summation. So
also, can I inject one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Inject one more thing.
That same day, he had made a fake profile of me, posting my intimate pictures, like my pictures of what I used to post on my OnlyFans content and spreading vulgar lies about me. He followed a lot of my family members and my friends, and they had to message me and ask me, like, Asia, is this you? Are you really doing this? He also had recorded a video of me and my guy friend getting out the car and was trying to persuade it and use it as like I was out prostituting in cars.
Nah, the car date that you mentioned, Mikey. I think that's what he's insinuating there. The car date.
Not saying that's true. That's all alleged. But it's always, we've heard this before. She's injecting that he was sending her dirties, her naughty adult photos that she uses on her OnlyFans, to her family. And we've heard that before. Baby, is this you? Well, I know you had a person there.
She wasn't saying directly. I think that he IG'd him or something like that. I don't think that he was, at least because we've heard cases where they have been directly sent to family members. I think this is more of him posting them though for free,
and they're following him.
Right, they're following him. So there is one step, further that you could take to be a real a-hole down there, 33R. But
Asia, baby, what are you doing? What is this? Don't be using the baby's carrots like that.
I do want to say this, and we say it every time whenever there's a child involved. They are the true victims of all of this. And you think, listen, we're in a court of law right now hearing this, right? You know what I mean? So could you imagine all the things that happens probably about on a daily basis, that you'll never hear about. But, I mean, this is bad enough. All of this is just crazy.
That's the message she was putting on the video, as if I'm leaving my baby in the house to go and prostitute in the cars and stuff like that, to those nature.
To those nature.
Allegedly.
Add that one to the list, to those nature. It is a bad look, though, when you're getting out of a car.
With a guy that you don't even, obviously, do you know him or don't know him? I can't figure it out.
He's a guy friend, bro.
And another thing, I would never say he's not an actual physical threat to his daughter, no, but his actions can cause us to lose our.
Good point. Jay, don't forget, she's got Netflix money. Grandma does.
Yeah.
Grandma's got Netflix money.
Grandma's paying for Netflix and
Yeah.
Hulu and
probably
Disney Plus and
yeah. And hopefully YouTube Premium, because by the way, that's pretty good. Pretty good
great
thing.
value.
FYI.
Home can cause us to be hurt physically because of his actions. That's what I mean, that he's a threat to my daughter.
Okay. All right. And what are you asking the court for today?
I would like the restraining order to be extended.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Brickley, is there anything you wish to say in response, and what are you asking the court for today?
As far as me pulling out my gun, like I said, I didn't pull out my gun until a gun was presented. I don't go looking for trouble.
It just finds
And
me.
what are you asking the court for? A dismissal?
Yes, ma'am. And as far as me taking her phone, I never took her phone.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'd
All
like
right, thank you
dismissal.
all. Having heard the evidence presented by both parties, at this time, I am ready to make a ruling. I am going to continue to keep the protective order in effect for the next 12 months. It will expire naturally.
Wow.
12 months from today's date, that's going to be June 28th of 2024. The petitioner will continue to have primary custody of the child, Trinity. There is no legal claim from the respondent, so that'll have to be handled through the family court as far as visitation, should that happen at a later date. The respondent is to undergo and complete the family violence intervention program, paying for those, and we'll meet with the compliance officer today in just a moment to sign up for that. And under federal law, Mr. Brickley, you are not allowed to possess a firearm. So if that was not given over to the sheriff's department at the time you were served with this ex parte order, you will need to make arrangements to deliver that to the sheriff's department in order to be in compliance with this protective order. All right, this order will be mailed to the parties, emailed to the parties, rather. Miss North, you can go ahead and log off, Mr. Brickley.
That's it. Shut it down. She shut it down. Whoa. She shut it down. Shut it down.
You know what? This is one of the rare cases where I'm not sure. I think that's good that they're not going to be around each other, but at the same time, the guy friends are coming in.
Yeah, it's a lot of. So I mean, you got a daughter. Worry about her. Don't worry about getting drunk. Don't worry about getting high. Don't worry about nothing but that kid. That's your focus. All the other stuff's going to have to wait until she's 18. And don't be bringing strange men around. For God's sakes. Don't let them in the house.
I don't know. But either way.
I mean, it seems like, maybe she can get that OnlyFans thing going. Work from home, spend time with your kid. You only got to put a couple of hours a day into it, maybe a week.
Should have somehow had that, like, just some hint, like, right behind her in the closet or whatever. Like if she was just, like just right up in here, just should have wrote it. Just the name. People would have figured it out,
He said.
Yes. So glad you got that one. God, we played that the other day after the show, and we were laughing for about 10 minutes. 10 minutes on that.
I love it.
It's great.
Love it. Yeah, another great case, another sad tale of woe, but hopefully the system got it right.
It's sad when you see things like that, like we said about it's about them kids, man.
By the way, the rumors are true. A Malaysian judge did call me and Creed out. The rumors are completely true. It's we've been threatened with civil action from the Malaysian government. If you like to spread that rumor, go right ahead. We're fine with it. Don't forget we got a chase at 4:05. Only exclusively on We Got a Chase channel.
That's right.
Enough.
Thank you guys for following us over on the backup channel, which isn't so much a backup channel, but it is when we use it for this anyways. Eventually it's all going to be case on case and chase on chase, but
face on face.
Doing all that. Yeah, guess that's it. That was a good one. I like I said, I'm kind of on the fence. Like, is a good he almost, I hate to say this, comes off as a decent,
I don't know,
dude, for the most part, but I don't know.
He's going to go rent himself a new place.
Somebody is renting it, and it's not in my name, and it's not in anybody else's name. It's in somebody else's name.
And whoever said, I hope he didn't read back or unpack.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
That was definitely pretty funny. All right.
There it is.
Happy birthday, by the way. There were some rumors in the chat about Leather and Lash's birthday. Was that?
I think her birthday, she said her birthday is this month, or is it today?
So confused. Yucky, thank you. Oh, in Canada. Thanks for all that smoke, by the way. Appreciate you.
Nice smoky Canadian flavor.
Smoke them if you got them. The 5 days to Freedom Express. Gary, thank you. Shelly, Donna, Melissa, Jeff, Other Lashes, KH. Like tequila. Mrs. Hot. And Flushing. That's how I remember to say her name, right? Like tequila. It's just,
like tequila.
Gary!
Easy enough. Cricket.
All right. You guys be good. Won't you stay safe? Won't you stay hard? Won't you stay tuned? Oh, we are the top guys. And, well, we're better than you. July 23rd. Baby.
It's so quiet.
It did get really quiet.
Got quiet.